Hello everybody and welcome to a new series I'm calling LagSOLO Create Aramere Edition. If we're looking around and saying, Aramere, you started without us. No, I did not. When I say that trying to record this was a mess, boy howdy was it a mess. There were so many technical difficulties that what was supposed to be episode 1 got done, but it had a lot of issues. Number 1. When I set OBS up to record all that stuff, for some reason, it was encoding it to the wrong file type, which means I wasn't even able to edit any of the stuff on my Premiere Pro to put it out as a video. I fixed the encoding issue with OBS, but that means that we're going to have to start from here. Now, problem number 2. The whole intro to this series was very laggy. And that actually came from 2 different mods that I have on here, because this is a modded Let's Play. The first mod that was causing some amount of lag was called Alex's Mobs, and if you know that mod, you know that it adds a lot of different mobs into the world, which normally is totally fine. That wasn't actually causing most of the problems. What was causing most of the problems was a mod called Dynamic Trees. Now, I do have some footage of material gathering where you can see exactly what that was like, but the thing with dynamic trees is it generates so many entities and static meshes every second because the trees are dynamic, meaning they move and evolve and adapt and all that as they grow, that it was causing a tremendous amount of lag. So even the video that I have of trying to gather materials and build this house and put the farm together it's very hard to watch. Probably almost as hard to watch as it was to actually do. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. I have been gone for a very long time. 6 months or 7 months or, well, longer at this point. There's a reason for that. A small series of events that begin in June, right after I posted the last video that I made, which unfortunately, because I don't even know where the world file for that world is, I can't even continue that series unless I go looking very far, which I might do. I might do that. It's just going to take a little while to actually find that. But the whole series of events started in June with the passing away of my dog, Chomper. He was with our family for 11 years. I loved him very deeply. I considered him the closest thing that I had in life to a son, given that I am not married. I do not have any kids of my own. He was probably the closest thing that I had to a son, and his loss was very deeply felt for me. And it took me a very long time to get back into a position where I felt comfortable making videos. But here I am. I'm ready to get started again to try and actually give it an honest effort this time around. And yeah. Like I said, this should be technically episode 2 because I recorded an entire episode. Pretty much 5 or 6 hours of footage, which was supposed to be used to make a 20 to 30 minute video, has gone down the drain. So we're just going to have to start from the beginning. And I think a good place to start would be with a quick rundown of everything that you missed. Because my software issues basically mean that last video is not watchable. So, without further ado, let's start the recap. I logged on, I looked around, I chopped some trees, I mined some boards, I got some loot, I built a house. Alright guys, and with that recap, you should now be all up to speed on what happened during the recordings of a few days ago. It has been a few days at this point. It's been a very busy few days. And with having to redo the episode, you can imagine how busy it's actually going to be. But so the plan for this episode is actually going to be 2 or 3 different things. The first thing is going to be a skeleton farm. Now, as you can see over my left shoulder, right over the horse pit where my horse is sitting, is a skeleton spawner that I found during that one day's recording session. I would like to build a skeleton farm because that way I'm going to get my bows, my bones, my arrows, and my XP. And those are going to come in super handy when I start producing books and getting enchantments, and when I can actually start producing things properly. And once I do that, I can actually start thinking about putting together some plans for the create mod. So I went ahead and planned out a building on creative mode. I have a creative version of this world. And now we are going to go ahead and start building. But first, here are the materials that I've gathered. I gathered a bunch of andesite, a bunch of tuff, some spruce, some oak, and copper. The copper is going to be used for the roof. I have some carpet here and some dirt that's going to be used for scaffolding. Now, I still have to put some additional stuff together. Chests, hoppers. I need to get blocks to actually build the farm mechanism. But instead of showing you how I'm going to get all those things, I'm going to go ahead and with a little bit of video editing magic, we are going to begin construction, and we will be back with a finished tower in 3, 2, 1. Poof! Alrighty. Well, looks like we got ourselves a tower. Let's take a look. Wow, look at that. Pretty snazzy. So we've got copper roofs, a spruce kind of top of the tower, the watchtower area, built of andesite and tough bricks from the create mod, not the 1.21 stuff. And of all the stuff we had, here's what's left. So we really did use all of it. And guys, I apologize that I couldn't show you guys like a proper time lapse of the whole thing. I tried using the replay mod again to try and capture it, but it looked pretty janky. Let me guys know what you think. Do you want to see the time-lapse stuff even though it looks janky all around and it makes weird noises? Or do you just want to see the end product with some really nice poof edit like I just did? Yeah, let me know in the comments below. But here's our skeleton spawner. You'll notice it's no longer sitting over here next to the horse hole, which I probably need to move the horse hole or give him like a proper pen at some point. Oh, lag. Why is it lagging? Was it lagging? There you go. How about now? Better? A little bit better. But yeah, there we go. Skeleton spawner. So if we go inside... Oh, you can see there's a whole bunch of skeletons ready and waiting. Oh, excuse me. Bunch of skeletons ready and waiting. Here's our system. We have a room with the skeleton spawner underneath the tower. And then we kind of funneled them into a corner and up the water stream. All over the top. There's a fence gate up there to make sure the water doesn't pour back down over the other side. And then they drop. And they drop just far enough that you can give them one swipe of the sword. And that'll take them out. And all of their stuff will funnel into the chests below. And they should drop XP. I think I might have just picked it up. Ow! I'm lagging into all the holes today, guys. So let's see what we got. Boom! We have at least one bow, a few arrows, some bones. I know that there's going to be some stuff ending up in some of these other chests, but for now it's only really been down here on the top one. As they fill out... Oh! Oh no! No. Go away. What I probably should do is have like a couple of doors set up against the sides of this, or trap doors, I guess, because I don't know that a door would actually stand here in the air. I could probably try and fit that around Just so they don't shoot me on the ladder like they just did. But there we go. There's a skeleton farm. So now we have bows, arrows, bones, and XP. And that'll be great because bone meal will be great for croppage. I do have spruce left. Let me make a couple of trapdoors and make sure that we can actually protect ourselves from the skellybobs. So, no, stop lagging. Yeah. I know it's called LagSOLO / LagFest / whatever, but it's not supposed to actually lag anymore. I have a better computer than I had back in the day. It's actually a much better computer. It's probably the cumulative mods and OBS all taking a toll on the computer. Spruce. And now we make thank you for lagging. Now we make the trapdoors. Boom and boom. Thank you. And now we can go ahead and put these trapdoors. Ooh. Stop lagging. Against the sides, like so. Not like that, you jerk. Oh my god, the lag. Oh my god, stop it. Guys, this is not watchable. This is not watchable stuff. Oh, let me step out for a minute. Okay, let me quickly figure out what's causing these lag spikes and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I don't know what's causing the lag, but it's present. So let me put the trapdoors in. It seems that every time I put in a new block or something, it causes a little bit of lag. And I don't know why. There you go. Oh, and lagged into the hole again. This series is about to really live up to its name, guys. Unless I figure this out. Which I promise I will figure out by the start of next episode. But, here we go. Hello, can you lag forward, please? Lag forward! God damn it. And there we go. We have ourselves an XP farm. We're at 30 levels. Which is great, because that's going to come in really handy when I want to actually enchant stuff. And why are you lagging? Why are you lagging? Guys, please give me one moment. I promise I will figure this out. I promise. Alright, guys. So I haven't been able to figure out what's causing all the lag quite yet, but I'm just going to keep going on ahead because we have some more plans for this episode, and they actually involve planting another crop field. We're going to need a lot of crops moving forward, especially if we're going to have stuff like cows and sheep. You know, all the stuff that we're going to need for food. So we're going to need quite a few crop fields, and I don't know where to put half of this stuff, so I'm just going to toss it into this random chest and hope I eventually find a room for it. And it's raining. That's not helping at all. Why is it? Is it just me, or is it always raining in Minecraft? Like, I didn't realize that I transported myself over to England. Well, I suppose if it's raining, might as well till the fields, right? guys, we're standing in front of our new crop field, and now, as you can see, I got killed by a zombie because of lag. So I really need to figure out what the thing causing lag is. But we now have our crop field. We have a whole bunch more wheat, in addition to what I already planted earlier, last episode. As you can see, I have some additional crops up here. Those are from a mod called Utopia, which allows for more types of food. I don't know if I'm going to use all those different types of food, but I think it looks really cool having them. So I planted some crops of that kind as well. But this is the field that we're really concerned with right now. As you can see, the wheat is already growing. Again, I'm going to try to figure out what it is that's causing all the lag and see how I can put an end to it. But until then, there's not really much that we can do for this episode. That said, the last part of my plan for this episode was to get a little bit of a start on Create. Now, with what we have, with what the time we have, I need to figure out if that's still doable within the scope of this episode. So let's go ahead and look into what Create needs a little bit. Okay, so Create is a mod based all around automation through gears and cogs. And in a way, building a factory that's very steampunk-like. It's very much of the Industrial Revolution. But of course, Minecrafty. So I think what we're going to need to start is a few cogs, and I think a water wheel is a good starting source for power. So let's see what we need for a cog. For a cog, it's 1 planks and 1 shaft, and the shaft is 2 andesite alloy. Andesite alloy you can get by mixing andesite with iron nugget or with zinc nuggets. Now, I think I have some iron nuggets, but it would also be pretty good for us to go into the mines and get some zinc, as that would prove pretty useful. So that's for the andesite alloy. We use 2 of those to make a shaft. And then it's a shaft with 1 piece of wood, with 1 piece of planks to get a regular cogwheel, and it's either a cogwheel with another plank or a shaft and 2 planks to get a larger cogwheel. And those are very important early game, not only in terms of how you chain them up and change the direction of where you're going with cogwheels, but also because if you arrange the cogwheels on your contraption in a certain way, you can actually speed up the rotations per minute you get from a power source like the water wheel. Of course, you don't want to put too much stress on it because the whole system will break. Like, literally break, not just in-game kind of mechanically break. But it is a way of speeding up our contraptions. Now for the water wheels, what we need is a shaft and 8 planks. So we can probably get started with a little bit of that. And some of the other things we are going to need, just for starters, are mechanical presses and depots. Although you don't necessarily need the depot with the mechanical press, you just need a surface to use it on. And then the mechanical mixer, which is used with the basin to craft all sorts of stuff, like mixing ingots together. But for that to work, you also need blaze burners, which means we need to go to the nether. So where we probably want to start is a mechanical press, because the mechanical press will allow us to do things like make these whisks, which need iron sheets, which is what happens when you smash an iron ingot, and it turns into the iron sheet. I'm not very good at explaining things, guys. But eventually what I would like to do is be able to create stuff like mechanical bearings and windmill bearings, because those, when used with the mechanical harvester, as well as the portable storage interface, will allow us to automate farms and send all our all the stuff we want sent into chests. So with that, we should be able to really automate farming and begin our process of automation for create. So again, what we want first is a cogwheel, a large cogwheel, a water wheel, and a mechanical press. So let's start by getting the materials that we need for these shafts. We need andesite and iron for the andesite alloy, right? So let's see what we got. Of course, if the world stopped lagging, that would be even better. There we go. We got ingots. I think we can now start to make andesite alloy, just like that. Boom. So we could only make 9, but that's all right because we're only really going to need 2 of those for now to make the shaft. Now for wood, I don't know if it needs specifically vanilla wood, but let's see if it lets us use driftwood planks. It does. Fantastic. So I'm going to make 1 large, 1 regular. Actually, I'm going to make 2 of each just in case. And now, what does the press need? It needs an andesite casing, which needs a log, and a block of iron. So that's not going to be too bad. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And do we have any logs? We do. Perfect. So to get an andesite casing, we put down a log. I believe we strip it first. And then, oh, there we go. We hit it with the andesite alloy, and we've gotten the andesite age advancement. Now this is going to come in super handy. So first of all, let's get rid of this. Make ourselves a block of iron, a shaft on the top, and the casing in the middle, if lag ever wants to stop. And bingo bongo, we have ourselves a mechanical press. Now we just need to put together our water wheel, right? So I believe it was a shaft. Oh geez. Right, so that wood's not going to work. But if we do that, there we go. We have ourselves a water wheel. Fantastic. Now, how many shafts do we have left? We have 2 shafts left. Yikes. We probably want to create just a few more so we don't run out, because shafts are also as important as cogs for making stuff and create work. Now, we also need to think of a really good place to put all this, because ultimately, when we start with create, we're going to need a lot of space to actually work. So what we should probably try and do is see about a good place to set up a create workshop. Now, I think this area over here, where all the sheep are and all the tall grass is, excuse me for a moment. Oh, never mind, the sun took care of it. But this whole area here, where all the sheep are, especially here closer to the water, there's a nice big flat area where we can actually start setting up our workshop. So I think next episode is where we're actually going to get started on a place to put all of our create stuff. But for now, let's see if I can get a good look at how create works. So we're definitely going to need some water, moving water for the water wheel. And of course, if lag ever lets up, we might actually get there. All right, get that water. Now let's see. A water wheel needs moving water, so we can probably stick that there, like so. and the water there. Or maybe not. If I take you and put you there, and put you there, there we go. Now we've got movement. So if I put that there, a second one, you can see it's moving the opposite way, but it's now moving faster. So if we chain that like so. Oh, I put that in the wrong place. If we put that like so, now you can see it's going back the correct way, or the way the water wheel is going, but it's now even faster. In fact, if you compare this, if you can compare the speeds of the bottom lower cog, small cog and the top small cog, you can actually see a significant increase in speed. Now, if I hook up the mechanical press, there we go. It's now getting powered. You can see the shaft inside the press rotating. Now, this is by no means an optimal setup, but it's a good way of showcasing what that actually does. Now, I need to see where the heck I left my crafting table, because I should always have one in my inventory just in case, but I don't have one on me right now. And I do think I put it down somewhere over there. Excellent. So let me pick that up. I gotta get in the habit of carrying this with me where I go. Oh, that's not good. I don't have my hoe with me, but that's not good. We'll have to fix that eventually. I'm gonna blame it on the sheep. Don't ruin my crops, yo. I'm gonna have problems. Now if we run back down here, we run back to our press, our bunkinator. We just go ahead and make an ingot just to show what this can do. And now, if we throw the iron in here, we're going to get the greatest achievement in this mod as far as I'm concerned. Throw it down. Bonk. And you can see the iron ingot is looking a little bit different. That is because this is now an iron sheet. It got pressed into an iron sheet. Now, because I sped this up, this is significantly faster than it would be if I just hooked this up to the water wheel as is. It would be going far slower if I connected it just up to the water wheel. So by increasing the speed, I've actually enabled all this mechanical stuff to work faster, which is great. But like I said, we're going to need a proper place to set up. And I think with this being a nice flat area, this will be a very good spot to set up our create workshop. But, what? No, where? Up here? Not up here. There's a giant cave right underneath our base, and I'm pretty sure every time the mob captain spawns, it's down in that cave. Which really tells me that as often as they spawn, I'm really going to need to light up that cave. But like I was saying, folks, I won't be able to get into making the create factory workshop this time around, but I was able to show you just a little bit of how create works and hopefully tease you a little bit, just enough for you to come back for next episode. So with all that said, this is where I'm going to call it for today's episode. Thank you all very, very much for watching. If you've made it this far, thank you for putting up with the lag and for my mishaps with last time's episode recording, because God knows I would rather have put that out than this as episode 1. I would rather this have been episode 2. But sometimes our plans don't work out. So, like I said, thank you all very much for watching. I've been Aramere. This has been LagSOLO Create Aramere Edition. And I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.